demo day. About to start tearing into Hail Mary and get her ripped apart. Got help from Jordan. There's Jordan. Got the bar out here. All these seats coming out. Window 1 out. Window 2 out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more windows. All these shelves, all these seats, all these bars, all this wall covering, air conditioning unit, everything in here that we can get out comes out today. Ready, set, go. Anyone want a movie theater? Got all the windows out. Big dog's 48 by 25. Really exciting to find this ceiling insulated. Most of it's insulated, got foam on the walls. There's a couple spots here that are not, but we can fill them in. Gotta deconstruct all of these electronics. Figure out what all this does. Get rid of these refrigerant lines for the rear AC heater. 1 day to get it all out. How many days to get it back in?
All of them.
The carrier air conditioning unit and then the condenser fan heat exchanger downstairs went to a new owner, and they are going to recycle it and put it into a bus conversion that he's doing for his family. All the seats that are going to come out of here, someone's supposed to come pick it up tonight. I don't know, it's getting late, so I don't know if they're still going to make it. You know how offer up is. People say they're going to show up, they don't show up. Some good stuff that I can reuse. This 5 wires got some 8 gauge and 12 gauge mixed together, all threaded, so I'm sure I'll be able to repurpose that. But it's all cleaned up in here. Jordan did a killer job, just jamming all day. We're really happy to find out that a lot of the van has insulation already in it. It has spray foam up here and polyboard that's already glued in and has been there for 15 years. So no need to mess with that. Once we're done working back here, installing backup cameras and all that fun stuff, I'm gonna do some spray foam back there and close all that in. One spot that doesn't have insulation that needs it is the floor. So we're gonna do a spray foam insulation underneath the undercarriage after we've lifted it, and it's on 41-inch tires and it has an 8-inch lift. It's gonna be a lot easier to access underneath. So we'll be able to get that done without a problem. And we'll also use the spray foam in here to touch up any spots that are missing, as well as the cab over. So up here is not insulated either. Was super happy to find a bunch of space up here. It's probably a good 12 inches behind these bars. Super solid steel beams, all welded in. I was extremely happy to see how solid the construction was in this van. Everything's welded together. Should be really nice working with it. You know, really nice corners and a lot of options for design. So happy to see, you know, once you tear into something, to see how well it was originally put together. And you know, although this is a body on chassis, and it's not going to be as good as articulating as something that's separated, it definitely isn't gonna, you know, damage the shell. It's together. It's back to one vehicle. Not 100% sure the electronics are gonna go up here. The other option is gonna be underneath the dinette. I was gonna raise the dinette about 15 inches, and that would give me some space underneath. But again, it's gonna be more difficult to work on if you needed to make any adjustments. I would have to remove the transit seat and remove the top decking to access below, which is no big deal. You're not often working on the electronics So that is an option that's definitely on the table, but having electronics up here is going to be a really nice distribution point. I already have, I don't know, this might be a 4-gauge or a 2-gauge wire coming up from the engine compartment, coming from the alternator, that ran all the lights and the heater controls and everything inside the van. So I already have that done, and that's going to be my DC to DC charger. It's really the only thing that goes to the vehicle battery. So that's already ran, that's really nice. The only other things we kept were the dome light that goes here and the clearance marker lights, which they daisy chained all the way to the back. There's only a single line of positive that goes to the rear clearance lights, and then they grounded it back here, right here. And then all these other lights come up, they're all tail lights and running lights, so we didn't mess with any of that. Another cool thing that I figured out today was that there are antifreeze lines from the coolant system in the vehicle that run all the way to the rear of the vehicle that went to a heater that was underneath the bench seating. And that's a really huge bonus for me because we're doing a hydronic heating system in this van. The hydronic system is going to be a diesel powered Adventcha S3 hydronic heater that's going to power our fan heater for the cabin heat. It's also going to heat our water, and it also will heat the engine block because this is a diesel 7.3 Power Stroke, and we will be able to heat the engine block when it's cold outside. So I already have those lines plumbed into the vehicle, and there's summer valves already underneath the vehicle. Summer valves are just on-offs that interrupt the lines to and from, so that when it's summertime and you don't need to preheat the engine, you aren't wasting that path for the coolant to go and cool down and be less effective heating your water or heating the cabin space. This will all come up. This is because of this diagonal cut. This has to come out. We took the piece of wood out here. There was a piece of wood that was in there, part of this whole step system. I was happy to find out that the original seat mounts are still here. I was wondering where this cut was going to be, and I was wondering if the right side of this passenger seat was going to exist, or had they cut out that part of the van when they built the shuttle bus. Happy to find out that the mounts are here, all 4, and that's no problem at all. So we'll just do kill mat on all this. This will come out and get discarded. We'll do maybe a 1/2 inch of insulation, something similar to what they did here. You can't go crazy in here, like I said, because the doghouse needs to mount in. So we'll do a 1/2 inch of insulation, kill mat, and I'll do a rubber coin flooring again. I really like the waterproofness that offers, so good to go there. And then this little gap here, down here, I'll just do a plate steel, fill that in so that I can do flooring all over that and make that disappear. No problem at all. You might be wondering how this seat's gonna look with the stairs coming right through, and I put the swivel seat mount here on the spot where it's actually going to live, and it's not too bad at all. The back of the seat will be about here, and when you're parked, you just slide the seat forward and kick the back of the seat as far forward as you can so it's out of the way. It's a really wide step, and for me to have the passenger here and not riding in the back is really important, and it's worth crowding this step a little bit. Also, keep note that I get to redo this whole doorway. This door is going away, and our Arctic turn door is going in. So I can kiddie the door when I mount it all the way to the left, so that when you're entering already starting on the left side of the stairs, and you will not really mind too much the chair that's in the way. Got the battery out. I'm gonna do some nice batteries for this van. There are 2 batteries. Being a diesel, it needs the cold cranking amps, so we got that out. And then the Arctic turn door is gorgeous. Another cool feature of the van is that I have a custom 75-inch by 35-inch rear cargo hatch coming, and it is going to fit in this entire back space, almost all the way across, edge to edge, and from the bottom seam here to the bottom of the window. So really excited about that. It is double hinged, double latched, top hinged. So it's gonna open up, and then I'll give you some shelter underneath it, and it'll be super nice access for the garage area. Tomorrow I think we'll probably frame in the windows and add the new cross beams of steel so that the windows are actually sitting on 4 sides and resting on steel. That's the goal. And then we are going to be creating the sandwich construction that is going to fill in where the windows were, and I'll do an entire episode on that. So more to come on that, but we have a really cool way to re-insulate the van, fill in these holes, and then re-side it. And I will definitely document that process because I've never seen anybody do it the way we're doing it, and I think it might help some people down the line. I'll try to include the cost of materials as much as I remember to as we go, so you can see what your options are when you're doing something like that. That's it for now. We are getting down. Day 2 on deconstruction, going well. Everything's ripped out pretty much. A couple more dirty jobs, and then get to welding.